Okay, I
All
got it.
right, perfect. Okay, once we're done with the meeting, the recording will automatically be saved to your computer in a Zoom folder as an MP4 file, okay?
Okay.
All right, one last chance. Are there any final questions you have?
No, I think I'm good. And then if anything, if I do for some reason need you during it, I just ask for you and you'll come back.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you can say pause simulation or just ask for Bennett.
Okay.
All right, perfect. As soon as you see the avatars appear, the simulation will have begun. Good luck, and remember, this is a training simulation, so it's a great opportunity to take risks and to stretch yourself.
Thank you.
No problem. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Um, first,
Hi, I like your hair. It's really nice.
thank you. Okay, so we're going to be talking about long division today. Everyone had completed some homework of long division. Does everyone know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah. We had to divide a big number.
Yeah, you guys had to divide a big number and you guys were working on different long division ways. So does everyone have that homework?
Yeah, we have it on the shared workspace in front of us. We also have Max's and Leah's work.
Yes, I have that as well. We're going to use that in a little bit. First,
Okay.
does anyone have questions about the homework that you completed?
None that I know of.
Okay.
Yep.
Does anyone want to share the answer that they got for the homework?
I could if you want.
Go ahead, Jayla.
Okay. Cool. So you just want me to kind of tell you what I did?
Yeah, you can explain your method so that maybe all your classmates can get an idea of what you did.
Okay, cool. Well, I did the first part in my head. I hope that's okay. I just knew that 15 times 100 would be 1500, and that's way too much. So then I thought about 15 times 50, and that would be 750, but that's too low. So I picked something in the middle, and 75 would be like totally in the middle, but it was easier just to multiply by 70 with a 0 in the ones place. And that gave me 1050. Then I just needed 30, so 2 times 15, and that was my answer, and it came out to 72.
Yep. That's a very good method, and I like how you use 70 so that you had an easier number to multiply so that you could figure that part out. And 72 is the correct answer for that long division problem.
All right.
Did anyone else do it differently in a way that they would like to share?
I mean, I did it kind of similar.
Kind of similar. What part about it did you do differently?
I'm not sure. Do you mind if I just explain it?
Oh, go ahead. That's perfect.
Okay. Well, I guess I started with 15 times 10, which was way too low. So then I tried multiplying by 20 and then by 30 after that. And I added up the numbers until I got to 900. After that, I only needed 180. So I went back to 10 because I already knew that was 150. And then that got me to 1050. So I only had 30 left, like Jayla. And that's 15 times 2 equals 30. And then I just added up the numbers, I multiplied, and I got 62.
62. So I think that maybe, do you want to check your work one time and re-add those numbers that you have on the side?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. 10 plus 20 equals 30.
Yes.
Plus 30 equals 60. Plus 10. Oh, I messed up. I think the answer is 72, not 62.
Yeah, 72 is the correct answer. And when I was looking at your homework, I saw that you had the correct answer. You had just forgotten to add one of those 10s on the side. So very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, if does anyone else want to share, or would you guys like to look at Leah and Max's work?
I'm good. I also got 72. What did you get, Mina?
Yes, I got 72 as well, so I'm okay.
Okay. Emily, did you also get 7?
Yes. Um, yes, I did. I got
Okay.
72.
Okay, very good. So let's take a look at how Leah did this math problem. So does everyone have that out to see?
Yes, we have it on the screen.
Okay, perfect. So let's look at Leah's. Who thinks that they understand Leah's thinking that she did when she solved this math problem?
The only thing that comes to mind is I see that she used smaller numbers on the side at first.
Yes, so she used smaller numbers on the side. So
Yeah.
she did long division, how eventually we're going to learn how to do it in the traditional way. It's called the traditional algorithm, so we'll learn that, but that's how she did it. So she looked at 108 in the 1080 almost as its own number, and that's why she was multiplying tinier numbers, because she was only looking to get a number that didn't exceed 108, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to everyone? Kind of, sort of?
Yeah, a little.
I think so.
I would, yes, okay. So the way that she did it is she wanted to show that 15, she was seeing 108, so she tried 8 first. Does everyone agree that she probably tried 8 first?
Yeah, because it's too big what she got with it.
Yes, so then she went down one and tried 7. So when she did 15 times 7, she got the 105 and then subtracted it and was left with 30, like most of you were when you did or all of you were when you did your work. So
Yeah.
what do you guys notice about on the right side of her work? On the spot where the small numbers.
She's like multiplying there.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't can you guys pair together? Jayla, you can pair with Emily and Carlos, or Will and Mina since you're in the middle. And can you guys talk about why you think she was multiplying those numbers on the side?
What do you think? Well,
I don't know. 'Cause, I think she's checking her work.
yeah, I think that too. Oh, okay. I was wondering why she was doing that.
Okay, I heard a lot of good conversation going on between you guys. Can one person from each group, we'll start with Mina and Will, can one of you share what you guys came up with when you were discussing this?
I don't know. I just know that she's multiplying stuff.
She's multiplying stuff. Will, did you have any thoughts on why she might be doing that?
I'm not sure. I think she's like checking to see if she's right.
Very good, she is. And it's okay to be a little unsure because it's not really dealing with division. She incorporated some multiplication in there. Emily, did your group come up with
Yeah.
similar?
Yes. Carlos and Jayla and I also think she was checking her work, which was a good idea.
Yeah, that's always a good idea, especially when you're doing division, because it's so easy when you take your answer and multiply it. You should always get the number that you started with. And that's a good way to check to see if
Yes.
if you might have made an error along the way. Okay, so now let's look at Max's work. Before I start explaining Max's work, I'm actually going to have you guys pair with the same people you just spoke to. And I want you guys to talk. We're going to talk for 1 minute about what we think Max was doing or what you guys think about his work. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and pair up, and I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to talk about Max's work.
I think Max and I did the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, we all did a pretty similar thing to what Max did.
Okay, everybody, let's bring us all back together so we can talk about Max's problem. Okay, so before I start sharing what I think about Max's work, what did you guys think with one another? What did you guys say?
Um, uh, uh, I noticed that uh, Max and I did a pretty similar thing. Like our styles for it were really similar.
You guys did do very similar styling with your methods. They were very, very alike.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the way that he did it? Do you think that's a good way to do it? Do you think that that's a good way to do division? Does the way that Max did the problem make sense to all of you?
It did for me because like if you look on Max's work, he started with 50 like I did, but then he just subtracted from 180 to make the numbers smaller and get to 0. So I guess that's like an easier way than I did.
Well, and that's really good to recognize that maybe there's an easier way to do the strategy that you were using, because then next time you do it, it might be easier for you to do it that way. Emily, what did you guys think about Max's strategy?
Me?
Well, you or Jayla or Carlos can share. If any of you guys think that you guys can any of you can share what you guys were talking about.
Well, when it comes to Max and Leah's work, I'm not really sure if mine's the same.
But mine with Max's, it looks like we did the same thing. What did you think? Well, it just took longer for Max to get the answer because we started with a different number, but I think we did the same thing, right?
Yes, I believe so. Sorry, I was reading it. Okay, yes. So that's very good. You guys recognized a lot of very good things about Max's strategy, and I'm glad that you guys got to look at that. So I'm going to look through his now and we'll go through it with you guys. So he did sort of the grouping on the side. So he did 15 times 50. Now, the only thing about Max's work is, does he show how he knows that these numbers multiply? Does anyone see, does he show his work at all?
Yeah, I think so. On the left?
Yeah, does he have his multiplication all drawn out?
Yeah, I think so a bit.
Yes, I think the only part that he maybe could have shown that would have helped someone understand his thinking is maybe writing 15 times 50. Or do you think that's a math fact that you would know off the top of your head?
I think I recognized it because I did the same thing.
Yes.
But I don't know about for other people. Yeah, it wasn't immediately, like, I didn't immediately know what he was doing.
Yes. So if he maybe would have shown that he did on the right hand side. So on the left hand side, it's good that he puts all the numbers because we see how he's getting to 72. But on the right hand side, if he would have shown that he did 15 times 50 and 15 times 10, you would have known where he started and how he got there, how he got the numbers on the left. Does that make sense?
A little bit more, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions about Max's work? No questions? Okay, good. Okay, so now we're going to compare Max and Leah's work. Can you guys look at both of them together? So we're going to do one more pair and share. Jayla, you can go with Will and Mina or Emily and Carlos again. But I want you guys to compare their two strategies for doing the same division problem. And I want you to think of which one would work better for you. Which one makes more sense to you when you look at it? And how are they the same and how are they different? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and pair with your shoulder partners and go ahead and compare them. So I want at the end you guys to be able to tell me what's the same, what's different, and which one made more sense to you when you were reading it. Go ahead and talk with your...
Just so you know, we have to go to recess in 1 minute.
Oh, okay, perfect. Just talk for like a few seconds. Or you know what, we'll go through, since we only have one more.
Okay.
Since we only have one more minute, sorry, I didn't know that we were so close to recess. Since we only have one more minute, can you raise your hand if you thought Leah's strategy made more sense to you? No one? Okay, can you raise your hand if you thought Max's strategy made more sense to you? Yeah, almost everyone. Emily, were they both a little, if you didn't know, you like your own way more? Oh,
Yeah, I like the way I did it, but when you were explaining it, I could see why hers was good.
very good. Okay, you guys can put your hands down. Well, I'm really glad that we got to talk about this long division and these problems, and I hope that you guys learned some new strategies from one another and from Leah and Max, and maybe those will help you in the future when you're working with division and bigger numbers than dividing.
I think so.
I think so too. I think that the more strategies that you learn, the more that you'll be able to apply it when you're doing math, and you'll think more about your math when you're doing it. So make sure that you always think about your math and that you always check your work. That's the biggest thing with division. The more that you check the work, the more you're going to get the right answers and avoid some errors when you are doing it. Okay?
All right, congratulations on finishing that scenario. Let's take a few minutes and we will reflect on the experience. First of all, just how are you feeling after the simulation?
It was a lot more, I guess, normal than I thought it was going to be. I just wasn't sure how like the conversations would go, but I kind of liked it. I had a lot of fun. I felt like I was like teaching real students, so that was fun.
Good, that's great. How do you think the students are feeling, at least where you left them off in the lesson?
I think good. They showed a lot of understanding, and I did a lot of checks for understanding on the different strategies and like comparing them. So I think that they left the lesson with more confidence and more knowledge on different ways to divide.
All right. Um, okay. In relation to the outcome, which strategies or best practices did you use well?
Um, can you repeat that?
Sure. Basically, just of all of the different best practices and the strategies you could use to help the kids, which one did you think you implemented the
Oh,
best?
I think I did just helping them in general, like classroom wise or math wise.
One more time?
Helping them with strategies classroom wise or mathematically.
Either, whichever comes to your mind
Oh,
first.
well, I think classroom wise, I think that a lot of asking and having them share their thoughts with me helped me know which direction to go next throughout the lesson. And the more I could get them to tell me their thoughts on the strategy or the strategies that they used and like what was making sense and what wasn't making sense, I knew where to go next from there based on what they were telling me.
All right, perfect. Now, if you had the chance to do this again, what do you think you could improve upon?
I think maybe having more, obviously I looked over all the students homework and the students work, and I think maybe just making more notes about things that they did to talk about in class and being able to, I guess, articulate mathematically better to them what I'm thinking when I was looking at their homework so that I could explain some of the mathematical parts better for them, I think.
Great. And what is something you're taking away from this experience that you can use the next time you go out and venture forth into real life?
I think it really helped me with communication in the classroom and working. I really went into this wanting to work on making it a student based class and having it being student centered, where I was interacting with them and not just teaching or sharing my thoughts because I already know how to do long division where they are learning it. So I wanted to make sure that it was student centered, and I think I being able to practice it will make it easier to implement when I'm in an actual classroom.
Fantastic. Well, that will conclude our simulation. Thank you so much for your thoughtful reflection. Now you can go ahead and stop that recording. And just a reminder, your video will be available on your computer.